Quick. Salute, ladies and gentlemen. We back with another transmission, and today we got 607 from St. Louis, and we got my boy Beyond 5D, and we're going to be breaking down the metaphysical instrumentation about the demiurge. We're going to get into that today, ladies and gentlemen. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, because it's going to be one of those videos that's going to give you the clarification that you need. So we finna get into it. You know, a lot of people, they don't understand the perceptional reality that's based on the demiurge. So what is your perspective on the demiurge?
Me?
Yeah, yes, you, yeah.
So if I gotta be honest, a lot of people want to put everything external, right? I'm one person that understands that everything is internal, everything comes from within. So when you ask me about the demiurge, I gotta tell you it's me, right? A lot of people don't know because everybody want to accept the fact that they God, but don't nobody want to accept the fact that they the devil too, right? And that's the reality of it, right? The whole thing is you have to align the two, and you got to balance the two, but you can't run from neither.
Right.
So
see, go ahead.
The demiurge is me. The demiurge, when you look at it, was created by Sophia. The demiurge is a miscarriage, right? Because it takes a positive and a negative to create. Sophia chose to create the demiurge without the infinite creator. So therefore, the demiurge was flawed from the beginning. I've been flawed from the beginning, gang. I was born dead.
See, there's a misconception when it comes to the demiurge because the demiurge is acclimated to the ego, which is actually an emotion. Your emotions is connected to the dualistic energies of the moon, which is controlled by the matrix system. So that's why Saturn works in conjunction with the moon. That's why they call it the Saturn moon matrix, because who is the god of Saturn? Who is Kronos? Right. Kronos is also Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth is the archon above Abraxas, right? And Yaldabaoth is also the personification of Yahweh, who is Enlil, which means agreeable and disagreeable.
Right. Listen. I ain't with knowledge. I don't give a fuck about knowledge. I don't care about sounding smart. I don't care about putting names and with action and stuff like that. I'm just keeping it real from my standpoint, gang.
Okay.
I don't care about that. The people shouldn't care about that neither. Everything is eternal. Everything is a mind. The whole thing is consciousness. Let's just break it down to what people understand. You don't have karma. Your life is an echo. Your last move keep echoing until you stop it. Let's just tell people the truth. Let's stop hiding with these big ass words that they don't understand, gang.
But that's not. I'm not using big words, but in order to raise,
you use the big ass words, big ass stories.
But listen.
I don't give a fuck about. No, gang.
No.
I'm not gonna listen to that shit. Right?
Well, you gotta listen.
Don't nobody care about them big names and them big words. Don't nobody care about that.
Yes, they do.
Don't nobody care, gang. You try to sound too smart.
Let's take turns. Let's take turns.
Oh, it's good. Right? I'm gonna tell you. No, listen.
I'm smart. Too smart.
That's not my problem.
You too smart.
No, listen, bro. Listen. You gotta listen.
Man, you smart.
No, listen. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a high vibrational.
Everything wrong with smart, because true knowledge is came from the cosmos. When you get your knowledge from the cosmos, you don't need smart. Knowledge is downloaded. Smart is a cycle that's reversed that play in your head that keep on going. Nigga, throw that old shit away.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's important for our people to get in.
That's not important. It's not important for you to be a cycle.
No, it is important.
The whole thing for you to be free.
Listen.
You download new information every day. Every day. You need to let go of that shit and download new information every day. Let that old cycle go. That's like same thing holding on to the church. Holding on to them old ass stories. That shit don't make no sense. You need to hold on. Brain is consciousness. Information is here. It's here. It's consciousness. You inhale it. You don't need to learn all this bullshit.
It's not. I'm gonna tell you why we need to learn connotative linguistics.
You don't learn nothing.
No, yes, it is because the words are spelled. So how you gonna break the spell if your ass don't understand the words?
You have to remember.
You
have to remember. The knowledge is tampered with. Listen to me, gang. The knowledge. Listen. The food is under attack. The knowledge is under attack. You cannot get the knowledge from their books. You can't get it from their YouTube. You got to get it from the cosmos. Everything is under attack. That's the part you don't get. But
So that's
your
why I said
ancestors that
you gotta
talk about,
understand. No,
the Anunnaki that you talk about, they put the information here. It's in your skin, nigga. All you gotta do is activate it. And you activate it by activating your higher self, by the OMAD, by watching what you eat, not eating they poison. You activate your knowledge. You don't fucking read it.
it has nothing to do with reading, but like I said, in order to escape the matrix, you gotta use the shit in order to get out.
No, you don't. You
Yes,
gotta
you
sit in
do.
silence and peace
you
and
do.
darkness and blackness, and the information will come to you.
No, everybody don't have the same neurological format in order to
gang,
step
listen,
into those energies.
fuck neurological. Fuck. What
You
the
didn't
fuck
even
does
see-
neurological mean? Don't nobody know what that means. Don't nobody know what that means.
Hey, first of all, you gotta learn how to have a civil conversation.
Gang,
So I'll let
you gotta
talk
learn how
and
to
you
stop
let
using
me
the big
talk.
ass words.
I'll let you talk and you let me talk.
Stop using the big ass words, then.
I'm not using no big. It's not big words.
Don't
to
nobody
me.
know what that shit means.
That
you
means
confusing
you gotta
the
raise up your consciousness. You
They
gotta
don't know
raise
what
up
that
your
means.
knowledge.
No, you
No.
can't listen.
So this is the thing,
How you
though.
gonna ask how you gonna ask a dog that been a dog forever, right? To be something other than a dog, right? But what you can do is this, all them words, all that knowledge is no language. The language is this. This is what you heard. Zzz, it's vibration, the frequency. Your mind perceive that as a language or as a word. There's no words to be said, right?
No.
So listen. So when you give me some money and you tell me to talk and you tell me to give my input, I'm gonna get the truth. I'm not gonna get on here and try to sound smart, try to sound intelligent.
It's not about trying to sound smart or intelligent, bro. We have to understand that the spell was acclimated to the words. In order to understand the words, you got to break down the words. You got to break down connotative linguistics. You got to break down.
You can't put me for that smart shit.
You got to break down. You got to break down the words because the spell of the words is connected to the moon.
You got to remember who you talking
The
to.
moon is what controls the demiurge.
Jesus said you need the milk first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
Jesus said you need the milk first. So when I'm saying is all the words, all the information is in the cosmos. Let me teach you something. All the information is in the cosmos. It's embedded in your skin. All the shit you talk about, the Anunnakis, and all the shit you talking about, they put codes in your skin.
We know that.
The knowledge you talking about has been tampered with, gang.
We know that. I talk about it on my channel all the time. We know that already.
So
you're not
I don't
telling them nothing different,
I just don't want to use the words.
I'm just telling you, you're not telling nobody nothing different. We already know this on this channel. But what I'm saying is the spell was connected to the words. So in order to break the spell, you got to break down the words.
The spell is connected to the emotion. There's no words. The spell is connected to the emotion. The emotion attraction is what makes you get it. The money doesn't. The spell on the money is in the emotion. What makes you go for it? When you disattach the emotion, you disattach the spell. Gang, the spell. Each emotion that you in your body, them are different frequencies, different things, and them people attached to those.
See, bro, this is why we gotta stop. See, this is why scholarship is important. You can't just say shit without no evidence behind it.
This true. This true. This true. Listen, attachments. Listen. Attachments is what this spell attached to. You saying words? No, it's the attachments of you feeling you want it. You putting it over you. You making it better. Listen, the attachment to money is the problem. The money not the problem. The Bible says the love of money. Right? Everybody took the love out. They say money is the root of all evil, but it says the love because love is the emotion. Right? It's the emotion that is the problem. It's not the actual thing. See, money is good, right? I love money. I'm rich, right? But I don't do everything for money because I'm not emotionally attached to money. If I lose some money today, I just lose it.
So, but I disagree with that because when you get to the inception of time, it wasn't no motherfucking money.
There's no such thing as time.
No. Yes, it is.
No, time is linear. Time was invented. Time was invented to watch the sun, the moon. They used it on you. Time is linear. There's no past or no future, right? Life is moment to moment. Every moment creates a reality, right? This moment that we're in right now is one moment. My next decision create my next moment, which you call a future. But life is a whole bunch of pieces of moments. It's like a whole bunch of still shots because it's not actually happening. So what I'm saying is that time is linear. It doesn't exist. So if you know that you exist in different parallel universes at the same time, that's how you know time doesn't exist. But if you wrap your mind around time, that's the other attachment. See, they gave you time to make you die. Right?
That's a fact.
I'm telling you, everything they gave you was wrong. So it's no such thing as time.
That's a fact, because that's why the God of the Bible created the firmament, because the firmament is basically the embodiment of a time capsule. That's what traps you into the fixed position reality.
I love you. I love you. We agree.
Okay.
I love you.
All right, so let's start the show, family. You know, we got us some questions to headline this. You know, so one of the first questions we're gonna ask, I'm gonna have B-Dale go first. And for this question, I'm gonna have 607 go first. So 607 who is Abraxas to you? And then I'm gonna have B-Dale answer. But some people don't know who Abraxas is, and I know
a lot of people got a different thing. A lot of people say a demon. A lot of people gonna say that he a different thing. But for me, see, Abraxas came to me when I came knowledge to Sophia, wisdom and knowledge, understanding. So to me, he is the creation of her. Like, but he ain't male or female, right? So it's like saying he a male, but it's like he doesn't create. It's like blackness, like darkness, like his attributes, which will be Sophia, right? See, that just give me something to believe in outside of this devilish God on this universe that's backdoor, right? But I know that God got the same fear, like the real God got the same fear. The fear is no longer existing, so he mirrored himself a whole bunch of times. Sometimes his mirror is good, sometimes his mirror is bad. And I also know that everything on life and earth is just an echo. The earth is hollow. So one echo will echo back. Like one problem keep on echo back in different people. It's all echoes. So to me, I'm asking the question. To me, he complete darkness. That's what he is to me. Darkness.
Okay.
Okay,
for you, B-Dale, who's Abraxas?
Well,
what's your take?
Abraxas, when you get into like, Vedic, gematria, when you get into all these other, schools of thoughts, Abraxas, when you look at the chicken god, he's basically the personification of the chicken god. And the chicken god is acclimated to the Zaxby, so that's why they put out that motherfucking...
That man crazy.
He put out that KFC commercial.
He's crazy, bro. Listen, every attribute, the legs, the snake legs, all that means something. It don't mean chicken. Like, everything is metaphorical.
Hey, bro, look, we got to talk in turn, bro.
This nigga crazy, man. You got to know a crazy nigga.
Let's be civil. But, you know what I'm saying? The perception of art imitates reality. So, like I said, therefore, the knowledge is breaking his reality, because the chicken god Abraxas is actually an archon. An archon is a ruler god. And a ruler god rules over humanity by way of their emotions. Because that's why I said they supplicate your emotions and they transmute it into a weakness. And it's acclimated to the energies of the moon. That's why everything as far as the money, moon day, monopoly, monotheistic religion, all these things is acclimated to the lunar energy.
All this is
listen. This is why you ain't let me cook.
That's your belief. You ain't got no facts. I'm not doing this with you no more. You got beliefs. You lost.
That's not no belief.
You lost. Everything.
Bro, we don't. One thing we don't do on this channel, we don't believe in nothing.
You can't prove it though.
I prove everything on my channel.
Prove it now.
I prove everything on my channel.
Prove it.
I have no receipts on the
prove it.
I don't have the presentation.
You trying to be physical and spiritual at the same time. You just said the chicken head meant the chicken. You try to be physical and spiritual at the same time.
It's the same thing.
You can't do that. You got to it's a 3D, 4D, or 5D reality. Which one you live in?
So symbolism don't mean nothing?
Listen, it mean everything.
Symbolism don't mean nothing?
But it doesn't
symbolism
mean
don't mean nothing.
That it means. That's what they did with the Bible. See, they changed the meaning. You try to make this shit all sound so smart, like you got all the smarts, and you know it's just as simple as everything. You know how simple it is, but you try to make it sound smart.
No, this
because he was this gang. He trying to confuse people so he can sound smart in the television.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I'm sure. No, you got to show credence to the scholarship. You got to show
smart.
Because we ain't trying to be gangsters and rappers no more. We want to be smart.
Bro, you cap.
We want to be smart. We want to be gang bangers, and we don't want to be painting our nails.
Listen, you want to be smart. You want to be smart. So what if I tell you? IQ? You can't be smart. What if I tell you only can get downloads?
Hey, what's the difference between being intelligent and smart?
You can't. The brain don't have ability to be smart.
See, all right, look, I'm gonna ask you, what is the demiurge? What does
gang? Mean? The brain.
What does it mean?
Have the ability.
What does it mean?
Smart. Since you so smart.
Okay.
Since you so smart.
All right.
The brain is a downloader, it's a receiver, it play back certain shit. It has not the ability to be smart. Smart is made up.
We know that already.
But you just keep on saying you want to be
There's a
smart.
diametrical. We already know there's a diametrical difference between
But
smart
you
and.
keep saying you want to be smart. You confused.
No, I did not say anything like that, bro.
You just said it.
I did not say anything.
You
like
said who don't want to be intelligent.
Well, you know what I mean. I was using it for contextual purposes.
Yeah, you
we don't
faking.
want to be stupid no more. You want everything to be dumbed down, but we got to raise our
You faking.
Affirming, bro.
You faking.
How am I faking?
You coming back in another body because you faking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. What does the demiurge mean? You can't just come on internet and just be saying stuff.
Bro, the demiurge is you and me. Is anybody living with ego? The demiurge is the fucking ego. What don't you get?
I already know that.
So why don't you say that? Why you saying all these stories about all these bullshit characters and shit? Why you don't tell people the ego is what's inside of them?
You gotta break down every school of thought because some people are.
No, you don't. That's so you can feel like you smart.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with that. We break down shit on this channel. We don't just say stuff.
Give them the tools. You want to feel smart.
We don't just say stuff.
You want to feel smart.
No, it's not about feel. I know I'm smart, bro. It's no question.
There you go. Ain't no such thing as smart.
We already know. We already know that.
There's no such thing as smart.
We know that. We know.
All right, let's get this over with so I can go with. Listen, this 18 minutes we arguing don't even count. Ask our straight questions. Let me get this shit over with. He lost.
All right. Okay. So 6 or 7, you believe that you know about the Abraxas. That's your God. B-Dale feels like he's a chicken god. All right.
Listen,
listen. I didn't answer my question.
He's no God.
No,
God is disrespect.
Let me answer my question.
Listen.
Let me answer the question. It was my turn.
Okay. Give 6 or 7. Give B-Dale 2 minutes. Just give him 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Don't let me cook, because I'm gonna expose it. But what Abraxas is actually no. It's
just give 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm about to mute you.
Hold on, this is debate or something.
No, don't mute him. Just give him 2 minutes.
Debates, I kill niggas.
We don't debate.
I don't go back and forth. With words. I kill shit. I don't play these kind of games. If you interview me to talk, let me get my shit. I'm not gonna go back and forth with no lost ass nigga. I kill niggas. I don't play no games.
Trying to go back and forth.
Don't play with me. If you book me
get clarification about the
fucking debate, it was a fucking debate. If you book me for a fucking debate, it costs more.
Bro, you don't want to debate with me.
You lost.
I can prove everything I'm talking about. I can prove everything I'm talking about.
Lost.
I can prove everything I'm talking about.
You lost.
I can prove everything I'm talking about.
You lost.
I can prove everything I'm talking about.
You don't even know Braxton's not even God. You answer the question to call him God. You lost.
No, hey, I'm about to mute you because you talking too much. You gotta speak in turn.
Well, fuck you. I'm off.
Hey.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
I mean, we can still go the show with
Yeah. We plan to still keep going. You know, we didn't really know how 6 or 7 Unc's reaction was going to be towards this because we know that, B-Dale is a little bit more political, a little bit more conservative. We know 6 or 7 Unc is against that. He's a little bit more, he come from the streets, come from the, you know what I'm saying? So he's not as like that. So we already know even like when 2 people got opposite personalities, they could both be intellectual, but it's still going to create friction. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no bad blood. It's just friction because 2 personalities. That's all it is.
The thing is that from my perspective, I feel like that he's an agent provocateur that was facilitated by the government. He used to be in the hip hop industry. You see, he's propagating that alternative lifestyle with the nails and shit. So from that perception, it's like he just gets on camera and he just says stuff and he has no evidence to back it. He just goes on talking about Abraxas. And like, you got to understand that the great majority of the symbolism that's connected to those schools of thoughts, they have a meaning behind it. There's an esoteric meaning behind it. So that means that you have to dig deeper for the knowledge in order for people to understand it. He's talking about Abraxas. Abraxas is a ruler god that is basically below Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth is Yahweh. So it's the same capabilities of when you're looking at Kemetic spirituality. So you got Set, who had a son named Maga. Maga is also a demonic entity. It's a jinn. So the same thing takes place in different, schools of thoughts or whatever. So I'm not understanding what he's talking about because when you have a ruler god over you, it stops your ability to create.
Yeah.
That because there's a difference between a creator God and a ruler God. So that's why their systems of control is based on polarity, it's based on separatism, it's based on individualism. That's what's going to cultivate the ego. So that's why I'm saying, like, he don't understand, like, you know, niggas been dumbed down for so long, is that, you know, we have to bring about fifth dimensional knowledge in order to raise the vibration. We can't just, you know, stick with the surface level information and having rappers that used to be in the industry coming on camera and just telling y'all stuff. Because there's always a different meaning behind everything. So that's why I was saying, you got many different agencies since the inception of, you know, from the Jim Crow era, the civil rights and all this other stuff. You had infiltration. And the infiltration started to take place with people like him. They look like us, but they not us. And he's one of those individuals. So what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I mean, the situation, like 6 or 7, you know, I know he's been, you know, he's been dropping a lot of knowledge, but at the same time, you know, he comes from a different area. He comes from, you know, he went through a lot of stuff, you know, in the industry and stuff like that.
Right.
So I know, another thing too, he's used to, you know, only the camera being on him. So now it's on 3 people. So it's probably like he just probably is used to just only him talking. So you also being a teacher, you're a teacher, he's a teacher. When 2 teachers are together in the same, you know, and you know, he's probably not used to another teacher.
He ain't no teacher, bro. Let's be real. He's not no teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was a teacher, he already knows, you know, that the perception of art imitates reality. So why is he painting his fingernails? If you want to reach the young demographic with the information, why are you pushing that image? That's Luciferianism, for those who understand that mechanism of it and where it came from. Right? He even talks about in the Canaanite culture, they used to paint their nails because it was a sign of deviancy. Right? And y'all listening to people like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people discernment is key. Spirituality is all about not being tricked. And a lot of people are being tricked just because he has the ability to, you know, to create this mysticism, and he just giving you a bunch of, you know, jargon. He don't know what he's talking about. So
yeah, we was just about to get deeper into it, but you know, everything happens for a reason, you know, and
he's a threat. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's, you know, that's cultivated by real information is gonna, you know, people like that I'm always gonna be a threat to individuals like that. Because, you know what I'm saying, because everything is deeper than what it, you know, than what it really is. Everything is deeper than what it is. So that's why I say, like, he's not gonna understand, you know, the mechanics of, you know, understanding linguistics and breaking down the etymology and know where these words come from. He's telling you that the demiurge is the ego, but he's not telling you why. Motherfuckers want to know why. Well, they want to know what's going on. You can't just be saying stuff no more. You got to show and prove. That's why I always have receipts when I do my presentations. You can't just go on the camera with your nails painted and looking in the sky and then say some fake deep shit and think that, you know, you a prophet. It don't work like that, baby. You got to do the scholarship. You got to do the scholarship. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing. He's talking about not reading books. There's nothing wrong with reading books. You got to use the books as a catalyst in order to receive the download on a deeper level. Everybody get downloads, but they don't know where they come from. So when you start reading books, it's going to pull the information from the subconscious mind that's going to activate the epigenetics, right? That's the information that is encoded in your DNA structure that is activated by the ancestors. And if you really look at this, you know, from a full template, bro, it's just one of those things, bro. Like, anytime you have a high vibrational person is around a person who's trying to dumb down society or whatever, because he wants to keep it like that. We have to think at a higher frequency, bro. That's the only way we're going to get out of this, you know, this fixed position reality.
Yeah. So basically, Abraxas is basically a chicken god, basically.
Yeah. Well, the sigil is a chicken because one thing, like, archons are really cherubim of the Bible, or 200 fallen angels, or draconians. So what they do is they use parasites as a microcosm to mimic the energy of human behavior. So this is why you need parasite cleanses when you having these new transmissions from the sun, because the microtubule from the transmission of the parasite, it connects itself to the reptilian cortex of the brain, and it basically controls the physiology of the human. It becomes a host, and it becomes a tethering system that's connected to the moon. That's why we call it the silver cord or the silver key, to where you're not able to escape the Van Allen belt. So that's what the parasites do. It locks down your DNA. It's called light code lockdown.
Yeah, I agree with that, because, you know, when I take my parasite cleanses every day, I feel my intuition gets stronger. I feel my clarity gets stronger. My mind, it's like no negative thoughts just go away. And a lot of the times, you know, a lot of my collaborators, what they'll say is parasites also have a spiritual entity inside of them. So people think, oh, you know, you just detoxing worms out you, but these worms they're soulless beings. They have a spiritual, like, you know how they say everything has a spiritual value to it. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with things that have a spirit inside of it. You know what I'm saying? So when you have parasites in you, you have demons inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like micro demons. So when you're doing a parasite cleanse, family, y'all are detoxing from demons, thoughts, negative thoughts like that. And if you don't got a parasite cleanse, y'all could just take some cloves. It's not about money. We just say it's always in your counter. Get some cloves, get some cayenne pepper, get some turmeric, some things like that. You just get off the store. You know, take it all together with some black pepper. It'll get them parasites out. It help.
Facts.
Ginger, organic ginger too. And your thoughts are gonna be more positive. I'm gonna let you go though.
Or you can use like some chlorophyll. That chlorophyll can create like cell growth proliferation. Yeah. And it can extract those metals, because a lot of parasites that hide inside the metals and the nanotechnology that's inside genetically modified foods.
Yeah.
So it's a bugging system. And like I said, the real alien invasion is the parasites, but it's a microcosm.
Yeah. Because when I eat
the Archon, they use parasites and they use it as a remote control to control humans on the planet. That's what the parasites is for.
Because when I eat sugar,
he back. Hold on. He back.
Oh, he's back. Okay, let's get him back in.
They so smart to where they stupid. Listen, I came back to say this. Only came back because I ain't no thief. I don't want to take your money. Don't you ever book me again for no debate shit, Brody. Like, I fuck with you. You always give me a chance to give my message that I give, right? I don't want to go back and forth with shit like this, bro. This not for content for me. For real. This not content. I'm not with all this smart nigga shit. When I get on here, bro, I'm trying to show niggas how to get out the matrix and get they stuck in their body. Gang, I've been stuck in my body for a lot of years. I'm a killer. I'm a murderer, gang. I have no patience dealing with smart niggas that think they too smart for people, bro. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you, when you book me, I'm not bad or good. I'll bounce anyway. This nigga here got a bad soul on him, bro. He evil. I can feel it. Right? And when I feel it, I attack. Right? So he want to sound so smart, so intelligent, to the point to where it irks me, because it's niggas like that. For the reason why niggas in the hood still stuck, gang. I come from the trenches. I come from the people that Jesus talked to. Jesus said it's...
Wow, I didn't know being intelligent was so intelligent disrupts your nervous system
right now. Why is he doing this shit? Why is he doing this shit? Why is he trying to sound so smart? Let me talk, gang. I don't like being interrupted when I'm talking.
You interrupted me. You're on my platform.
Right? No, because listen, I have no...
Hey, bro, you're on my platform. What you talking about?
A man that want to be smart. You talk about a chicken and got people thinking it is a chicken. Well, you know it got nothing to do with a chicken. I'm not gonna play with no nigga that want to play games like that. When right. when you know that they had a way to express back in Atlantic Kemet and they couldn't express shit. And the way they can express shit is through writings, it's through drawings. So right. I don't think you completely understand, and you just saying this shit, but I download the information from the cosmos. Right? I get the information directly from the source.
Right.
Right. And so what I bring back, I be trying to tell y'all what's really going on. Right. And so when he hit me up, bro, I don't play. I'm not gonna play like the Christians play, like with no fucking chicken god, nigga. Like, I'm not gonna play like that.
Right.
I'm not gonna play with the land of Kim. I'm not gonna play with my ancestors.
Hey, understand, B-Dell, he's a teacher too. So we didn't want you to just talk. We wanted everybody to talk. Yeah. You know, so it wasn't just, we didn't want to just bring you on. We wanted everybody to talk. And I know you are someone who speaks, but we wanted it to be like, you know, he's a Libra. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted everything to be.
I'm telling you how I rock. Gang, I'm telling you how I rock. I'm telling you how I rock. When you book me, just ask me questions. Let me talk. Let me express myself. I don't express well with fake people. Me and you, we can vibrate. I don't express well with fake people. Gang, the nigga fake. I'm telling you what I know. Listen, I'm an energy vampire. I can smell it. I can feel it. He's a fake ass nigga, gang. I'm telling you. And vibrate well with fake niggas. Clear that shit with me.
Intelligence.
I go to the trenches, gang. I can smell them.
Intelligence is always going to vibrate at a frequency that's going to.
Fake, gang. Shut up. Shut your bitch ass up. You a fake ass bitch ass nigga. Real life.
You can get muted. You gonna you on my channel. You gonna listen to me talk. But like I said, it's imperative for our people to understand what true intelligence is or whatever. So we gotta stop and get away from dumbed down information. You talking to yourself, brother. Insanity. But you got another question?
Yeah, the situation, we thought everybody was gonna be able to talk in this, y'all. So at this time, like, you guys know we done 4 people podcasts, 3 people usually, but with this situation, we didn't know he only.
It's got to speak in turn. When it's time for just speak in turn, bro. We adults. You're an adult. You way older than me. I know you was out since country grammar, right? So I know you in your 40s. Why you acting like a YN? Calm down. Calm down. Bro, you in your 40s, bro. Why you acting like that? See, look, and he calling me a demon. He can't even speak in turn. But we can still go. He just got to speak in turn. I'm gonna unmute him real quick.
Okay, let's see what he's saying.
You got to speak in turn.
Table with my enemy, gang.
You gotta speak in turn. Speak in turn, please. Be an adult.
Listen, if you want to interview me, get him off and interview me, bro. Who paid me?
Bro,
who paid me?
Stop acting like a female.
If you want to interview me, get him off and interview me, or I can't do it, bro.
Stop acting like a female and talk in turn.
If you want to interview me, get him off and interview me, I can't do it. Flat out. How you want to do it? You want the content or you don't? Get him off here. You can interview me, interview him next. I don't care how you do it, but I'm not sitting with him. I don't sit at the table with niggas I don't trust.
You're not supposed to trust me. I don't know.
So what you gonna do? Or you want to do your
let's it's good, man. We already, this was supposed to be all of us talking. You know what I'm saying? But
you can ask no questions to me. We went viral. You can ask no questions to me. We go viral again. You can do the debate shit. I don't want to rip you off, but you can get an interview. I'm not gonna do a debate.
We're not debating. I
will do a 30-minute interview right now.
Look, I'm gonna have to meet you again.
I won't do a debate.
We're not debating. We're sharing knowledge, bro. Be an adult. Stop being emotional. You said emotions was the demiurge, right? And you being emotional. Calm down, bro. Calm down.
See, I don't like niggas controlling my mic. I don't like that bitch ass shit, nigga. In places I punch you in your mouth, you try to set me up, you bitch ass nigga. That's why I can't do this shit.
All right, man. He can just stay on and talk.
You could just remove him at this point. I mean, it kind of went left. Yeah, it went left. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one more chance, brother. I'm gonna give you one more chance.
Bro, he's already hot. You just got to remove him. This is unexpected.
You out of here, brother.
Yeah, this is something that we didn't see coming.
But this is why I put out the video. How to get in alignment, how to level up. You got to control your emotions. Your emotions, like he said your emotions is acclimated to the demiurge, right? So you got to control your emotions in order to control your reality. He's out of balance. So that's why anybody who is thinking at a high vibrational frequency, if you notice, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're going to disrupt everybody's nervous system. That's a fact. Because there's a diametrical difference between a man and a male. And that's a male because he's operating from a place of emotion because he's not in sync with his, with his logical side. He's not balanced. I don't know what, his background or whatever, I don't know if he was raised by his mother, but most of the time when dudes move like that, like the chatty patty and talking over other people, he got that energy from his mother. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, bro. Like you got to control your emotions because your emotions is what's going to bring you back here every time.
Yeah.
So that's
what's your okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's your take on, because this is going to 2-3 topics we were gonna talk about with 6 or 7 I was looking forward to it. But the whole intention with this live, it was the intention was to all 3 of us to, get on, and 607 and B-Dale were gonna be more of the main speakers, At the same time, 607 was aware that it was gonna be 3 people on it. So I guess he assumed it was gonna be all 3, but maybe because of B-Dale's decisiveness on his knowledge, it really kind of stirred him the wrong way. So of course, no one's trying to, set him up. Like, we would not do that on, YouTube. That makes no sense. We're not going to embarrass ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's those things, bro. We got to stop, being confused and stop getting information from these entertainers. You know what I'm saying? This is all theatrics. You know what I'm saying? Just because he says one good thing and it makes you feel good at the moment, that's connected to your energy of emotion. You got to use your discernment. Why are you painting your nails? What's the message behind that? Who you pushing that to, right? And then you know what I'm saying? Like, he's connected to the hip hop industry and all this other stuff. Like, it's just one of those things where, a lot of people got to understand that infiltration is real. When it comes to the spiritual and conscious community, it gets infiltrated all the time because of individuals like that. How you think you have the displacement of the Black Panther Party, and you had the displacement of all these other coalition groups that came together. So I mean, in the inception of the whole thing, we was supposed to be breaking down information together, but like I said,
yeah.
And
well, I mean, if you look at it,
always going to be like this. When you got real information that basically dismantles surface level information, it's always going to be a problem.
Yeah. If you look at it on a logical level, which you're a very logical person, B-Dale. I'm very logical too. On a logical level, it's just like he doesn't do collabs. Like he doesn't do collabs where other people are talking with him. Like, so in this situation, I'm thinking, okay, this could be a good situation to where maybe, it could be like B-Dale talks, he talks, saying something new. But in this situation, I've never seen him collab. I just realized I never really seen him collab with somebody. He's just only by himself. So I guess maybe he's just a by himself type of person when he does interviews. And you know what I'm saying? You also being a intellect, they're just like, you know what I'm saying? The age of Aquarius is just like, how everybody in the spiritual community, everybody's stubborn with their beliefs. Everybody is like in their own lane. So it's like beliefs versus beliefs, or knowledge versus knowledge. So this is, this is
the thing though. He wants everything he does is he's fake crazy. I'm real calm. I'm balanced. I'm crazy for real if I could take it there. But you know what I'm saying? I understand I have a dark side, so that's why I keep my tone and my energy down. That's why a lot of chosen ones, we went through, many different implications when it comes to friends and families. You know what I'm saying? We seen we was backstabbing, all this other stuff. We came across many different people that didn't resonate on the same vibration as us. And that's when we was able to, disassociate ourselves from those individuals. So a lot of times your authenticity is going to manipulate other people's energy. He's faking. And he's talking about, I'm faking. I've been getting on this channel all day. I prove everything I say. I get the receipts out. He just gets on the camera and just say stuff. Just because he has other, outlets and networks of individuals that he can reach out to other platforms and, hip hop artists and all this other stuff. So that's why I said the spiritual and conscious community, they got to start using their discernment. You got to use your discernment when it comes to individuals like that, especially motherfuckers that's coming from the hip hop, industry. And he got to learn how to speak in turn.
Yeah, when you say in turn, for the people watching, what do you mean by when you say you say in term?
No, speaking in turn, like he needs to learn how to like do everything in structure. Yeah. I talk, then you ask a question, and then he says something or whatever. Like he doesn't understand that because he's operating from a place of emotion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he came back up. He's too emotional. He's talking at the bottom. I'm not letting him in. He got to stop being emotional.
Yeah.
then I'll add him back to the stage, see what he's talking
Game. I operate from that place. I don't operate from no place of that. I operate from place of emotion. I operate from place that don't play with me. Let me know what's going on. Don't play with me. Don't put me on here with nobody that's on some smart ass intelligent shit when I'm trying to wake people up. Right? To sit here and say all this shit that people don't understand is crazy. Right? And when I speak for the people that come from me. I'm never emotional. I'm serious about what I'm doing. Right? I don't come to play. I'm not an entertainer. I have never entertained nobody in my life. I am really serious about what I'm doing. Right? And for my love for what I do, I come back on. Right? Listen, I don't gotta do this. I'm ready to tell them what I do to get through the tricks, through the confusion. And I'm telling you what you doing will confuse people. I don't got nothing to do with what you're doing. I love you. But you stand for confusion. Anytime you talk about the stars, the moon, niggas don't understand that shit. That's different type of food. You right. Everything you say is right. And I swear to God, it's right. Right? And I know it's right. It's so right, it fucked me up because I know nobody don't fucking understand it but me. So that's why I took it that way. That's why. Not because, nigga, I'll tell you what, because what you saying is, yeah, you right. And I'm like, how you saying all this right ass shit, but you ain't right enough to understand. You gotta dumb it down because you too smart. Nothing you said was flawed. I can admit that. But I can admit that the way you said it was flawed. Because you said it we speaking to a YouTube. These people just get on YouTube. They don't got no smart. They don't got no sense. When you start confusing them, they don't understand. That's why I don't go that far. That's why I make my shit to where they can be like, oh, okay, cool. We get it. Or we understand. I love Cuz. Cuz booked me before, gang. Now I'm going to do this debate. Listen, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it civil. But I'm going to do it civil for the love of what I believe in. For what I know is true. But I'm just telling you this from the bottom of my heart. Ain't nothing fake about me. I know what you said was true. I don't like your delivery.
Bro, I'm just trying to help our people, man. I'm just trying to get us thinking at a high frequency. That's all. But because when you unlock certain parts of the brain, it raises the consciousness up.
No, but not like that. Cause they so not smart. I tried it. Listen. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And what you're saying, but you raise the vibration up through frequencies, right? And the frequencies is like through music and shit like that too. It can raise it, right? We've been so busy being programmed. The brain rejects knowledge. It rejects it. So I'm just saying, bro, I apologize. I'm not nowhere near emotional. I'm just serious. I can have a civil conversation. Yeah. We're gonna start over. I just didn't know it was a fucking debate. If I listen,
it's not a debate. It's not a debate.
It's just all of us talking. It's just everybody talking.
Information. We didn't come on here to debate.
But if you ask me what is practice to me, right? Don't ask them the same questions. Then that's a debate.
No, but we just giving our perspectives on it.
That's a debate.
No, it's not.
Listen, if we got two different, come on, let's be honest.
It's not really a debate.
It's not.
I do this on Brother Rich's channel with other people all the time. I just did it with 19 Keys.
I know, but listen, but look, that's considered a debate, and I do it. Listen. If it was different questions, it wasn't. But if they ask us the same question, we give an odd perspective. Like if Trump go talk, they ask the same question. They give Trump a time to speak, and they give other person time to speak. That's called a debate.
Okay, just ask us different questions then.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all different questions. So,
I debate. Let's debate. But you gotta let me know it's a debate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know it's a debate. I'm ready.
Well, it's the intention not to make it a debate. The intention is to see and compare. It's basically like just to hear different. I want people to learn different sides of each knowledge, each subject, so they can hear two sides.
The same thing, but in different ways. I just told you. He said the same thing I said. I swear to God. Everything he gonna say, I'm not gonna say he wrong. It's just different. Listen, knowledge is different ways. It's the same shit, gang. I swear that we can do it, but I promise you, I can't disagree with nothing that he said. When I got off the live, I'll listen to him talk some more. So how can I disagree with what I know is true? I can just say it in a different way. I can say the same thing he say in a different way. We the truth is in our melon. We hold the truth. So that brother got the truth. He just said in a way so you know where I'm from. My message is for the people where I'm from. His message is when they consciousness get rise. Once I raise their consciousness, then they can talk to him. We got different purposes with the same truth.
Okay. All right. So I got a question. I got a question for you. And so you want me to also ask B-Dell the same questions or different questions?
Let's go.
Okay.
All right. So 6 or 7. What do you believe in Armageddon?
What's Armageddon?
Armageddon is like in the Bible. It's a story that Jesus is going to come down and karma and, you know, just everybody evil on the planet is going to be destroyed.
No,
justice.
I don't believe. That's not true. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
I want to know. I don't believe in that because that's false. Yeah, I can't believe in that. Nah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, my perception on the end of the world, and when you're talking about Armageddon, is really talking about the transitional points of Earth. We're going from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. So the end of the world is really the end of an age. So that's why music, you see the music industry fall, Hollywood is falling. You got all this Meg Thee Stallion going on. You just had the Pope, the Pope just died. That represents the fall of the church. Then you had the Queen. She died. She was a representation of, you know, that controlled the two pillars of the three city states of the Vatican, Washington, D.C., and the corporate infrastructure of the Federal Reserve. So when you're talking about the end of the world, you're talking about the end of the corporations that's being controlled by Europeans.
All right, and I can add to that. What he was talking about is like first is a 3D, 4D, 5D dimensional. Like right now, if you view this as being solid, you live in a 3D dimensional. You know it's solid. That's how you view it. But when you view it as what it is, as an actual atom, and it's a molecule, and it got a lot of different spaces, and it actually moving, and it comes solid when you come in contact with it. That puts you in a different level of thinking. See, my thing was like telling him we can stand right next to each other. I could be in a 3D reality. He could be in a 4D reality. Something happened. We can perceive it differently. And so that was my problem with what his speech was. I don't know y'all platform, but I know when I come on, people watch me. So I want to make sure I don't confuse them with a lot of big ass, crazy ass words that I know that I may understand, but they don't. But yeah,
right.
But as far as Armageddon, my concern with that is that it can't be true because where's the end? Everything continue echoes. Everything is mirrored. We're in a simulation. Well, right. So how can that be possible?
Right. I appreciate you 6 or 7 man. You know, so we all family. I'm glad that you was able to come back on because, you know, we all brothers, man. We all love each other. So I'm glad we're able to, you know, come back to a family and just, you know, help the people with some type of knowledge because, you know, they want to see us, you know, attack each other. There's already so much of that in the community. So I'm glad you're able to come back on, you know.
Yeah, that's good content though.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, for what's going on? Do you believe Atlanta is Atlantis?
Now, with that, listen, I believe I may be crazy, but I believe Antarctica is Atlantis. I believe that. I believe that. Like a lot of people believe different things, but I don't believe it's never lost. I believe they hid it on purpose because you remember what they did with the map? They flipped it over. They flipped it. With the calendar, it's 13 months. They gave us 12. So I don't trust none of their directions.
I agree with him. The reason I say that Atlantis is actually a part of Atlanta because Atlanta is on the 33rd parallel, which is a dark energy ley line. And then you got Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is basically a big ass granite. And that granite has quartz and feldspar, and it has a positive electrical frequency there in that landmass. So that's why they put that stone right there, because that stone in itself is basically the capstone, the hollow earth, to where it gets you to the gateways of Antarctica to get outside the ice wall. And the reason they don't want us to get outside the ice wall is because there's a second U on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
But me personally, I was trying to, what I know for a fact, when Elon Musk say he going to Mars, he talk about the Mars, and that's over the ice wall. It's not up.
Fact.
Right? The Mars is that away.
Yep.
Right? So this is what I'm trying to tell people. Everybody been confused. They've been tricked.
Yep. Hey, so you got locks. What I haven't heard you talk about locks, but what have you learned and what has your locks given you on your journey as like spiritually?
lot of people say that. Listen, my son just asked me for my hair, right?
Mhm.
And he say like they say it do something like, but say like a system of nervous system, like antenna. But for me, I don't know what the hell it do. Right? I'm not. I can't even begin to tell you what it do because I don't know. But if anybody can tell me, then that'd be great. This I don't know. I'm not what you call a spiritual person. I wasn't given like what a lot of people was given. I got my message directly from the monad, directly from the creator of existence. I'm a balancer. I come to balance the energy. I'm neither good or bad.
Mhm.
Mm.
Right. Now,
I don't know that question.
Yeah, well, from my perspective on that, where your locks, see, remember on the Avatar movie when they was able to tether connect their hair to the tree because the tree of life was what gave them the codes or the downloads that was connected to their genetical structure. So the same thing happens with in real time. This is why you got 99% of male trees on the planet because the male trees basically manipulates the transmission to where the hair is not tether connected to the trees. So all trees that has produce or whatever, those are the trees that revitalizes your DNA by way of the hair. That's why it's important to go tree hugging. It's important to, you know what I'm saying, to get part of the tree and rub it against your dreads because it creates a somatic frequency.
That makes sense because like with the trees, I can go outside right now. I talk to the trees and tell them to move and kiss me and they do it. Like a lot of people might think I'm crazy, but you talk to the trees, I talk to them, I rub it because they don't get a lot of love, right? Because like, a lot of people like ignore it. Right, yep. But when you go through and you get a tree love, it'll love you back. But I just want to say something. What we said, I heard you say something about. I just want to say this: a lot of men don't agree to this reality, but I think it should be a subject. In Kemet, women are the true carriers of the knowledge, and they was like the goddess, and they was like the only reason a man ruled because of the woman. Like it was to protect the woman knowledge and the love, because like she moved in love. Right. And then when they conquered us, they kind of flipped that and put all these white kings up front to make us think that the world was created by kings. So I think that our mission as being men of the woke and we should try to help flip that. So I just want to make sure that I said that on her because like that hit me. And for me, that was a shocking because I want to keep my foot on the bitch neck. Right. I think that a female is my property. I thought that, you know, they supposed to be submissive to me because that's what I was told. Right. But just for that particular thing, I just wanted to kind of like say that. I didn't know if you were gonna ask that kind of question, but I just wanted to say that because that came to me.
And you're right about that. And to add on what you said, you read this book right here called The Destruction of Black Civilization.
I don't never read.
Okay, well, I was just saying, like, I was just basically adding on just by way of historical context. Queen Zinga, when she was meeting with other countries, the king, he'll lay on his back on all fours, and she didn't have a place to sit. She sit on the king's back, you know, because you know that's when you know everything was a matriarchal civilization where the man he ruled through the woman, you know. Right. So everything it would see that the thing is that they think a matriarch and a rise of the divine feminine energy. They think it's the woman being above the man. It's nothing like that. They just work together. It's like Jordan and Pippen. That's what it is. It's just like having Jordan and Pippen together.
Male and female. That should
work. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you look at it from a basketball perspective, you ain't gonna win no motherfucking championship if everybody's not operating from a place of teamwork. So in order to escape the matrix, you got to find your divine feminine energy and cultivate that team to where you can activate the macabre and infiltrate the demiurge. That's how you square the circle, thinking outside of the box.
See, so I love him, right? And I'm gonna say this: I love him. Everything he just said, I can just say it. I can say the same thing in our language, which is the street, right? But I'm just saying the brother is so damn intelligent, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Everything he say, he go way above the understanding of normal people, and that's what's my issue. Again, I'm like, damn, is people gonna understand it? Because that'd be my problem when I come talking like that. Like now I want to make sure people understand it, so that I won't disconnect myself from my people. Because I know the language they gave us. I don't believe in language, but I know they gave us a gritty one. So I want to make sure I use the same gritty one that they gave us, so I communicate directly to people I'm trying to communicate with.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I apologize though. Yeah. Like now, I want to say I apologize. Like I balance, so I want to tell them I apologize.
No, that's true, brother.
Like I apologize.
All right, well, no, it's all good, brother. It's all good, man. We just trying to dismantle the confusion, bro. Like, you know, it's one of those things where like we in that great awakening period. and shit gonna be hitting the fan. FEMA just put out 2 days ago that they got rid of their strategy on how to, to have a course correction when you have a hurricane. There's no other strategy in place. So that means that something's about to happen. So, but in order for everybody to galvanize and unify together, it has to be a calamity. That's why I put out that 80-year cycle block theory, because every 80 years, there's a turning point or a crisis that manipulates human reality. And the last time that we was in that 80 years was in 1945 when we had World War II. We at the brink of 80 years, so something about to happen. They got that earthquake, the damn volcano in Oregon at the Seamount Axle. And if it erupts, it's going to activate 10,000 earthquakes. You know what I'm saying? So we in that time period. The only thing that, to galvanize everybody and get everybody thinking on the same frequency, whether if they from the streets or the fucking church, or if they are Moor, or if they are Hebrew Israelite, the only thing that's going to bring everybody together is a calamity. Because that's when you're going to have to use self-preservation, your resources, right? That's why we have to raise our frequency mentally.
Yeah, speaking of resources, it's crazy how our resources that we got are stolen. They steal all the energy from the sun all day and then sell it to us at night as lights. Right? Yep. So I'm just saying that everything we got is under attack. They steal it to us. They got to monetize it. They monetizing light. They monetizing earth. They monetizing water. Right? So everything around is being monetized by the same people that stole it from us. Right, so that'd be my frustration, right? But yeah, everything you say is true. The timelines you said is true, right? But they got to understand the timelines. You got to understand two things. We got to go by the turtle calendar, which is 13 months and not 12, right? So we got to understand that the month they gave us was months like June, and them they rulers, they names, like they gave us different time zones, right? That's why I say I don't believe in their time. I don't go by their time. It's off. It's fake.
That's a fact. Yeah, because they created that Metatronic overlay. A Metatronic overlay, for those who don't know what that is the third dimension. It's a three-dimensional energy that is created by liquid crystal technology, and what we call it in Science 101, it's a subatomic particle. It creates the illusion. That's all it is.
Even the what's it called? The daylight savings. That's another thing. When I seen the daylight savings stuff, I was like, yo, that's the proof in the pudding that, the time is being manipulated at our will. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, time is definitely man-made.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize about that again.
See, that's why Yahweh or Yadaboth, who is an archon, his other name is Chronos. Chronos is chronology.
But the speaker here, that's the speaker Yadaboth that he had. That's with Cain and Abel. He had Abel and they came to kill Cain, was made by the other side, was made in Antarctica. A lot of people think Cain and Abel was brothers, but they wasn't, right? So, but I just know that the brother know too much, and like that's the reason why we get attacked. Like I know what you know, but when you give it the way you give it, bro, I get chills. I get chills because this guy know exactly verbatimly what happened. Like he awoke. That scares me.
Yeah. Be you the Neo, man. You the Neo, man. You break the Matrix.
No, I'm gonna tell you.
He understand the Matrix clearly, like to the point to where he understand like the names, the science, like everything to a T. And and like for that, I can call you because like I understand shit too. But it's like damn, you or who I ain't gonna lie. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I hate how I talk. I hate it. I hate how I talk. I hated the way I knew like that. I used to practice and try to talk like you. And to make a long story short, it never came. And I hated myself that I could never do it. So that probably was another frustration when I hear you talk. Because I used to want to try to mimic. They ain't gonna respect my information like this. I know it, but I used to practice the words and shit. And it ain't never come out right. Right, so I'm like, fuck it, I gotta give it the way I give it. But I tried that shit. My brain wouldn't do it.
See,
hey, I appreciate you for the authenticity, man. That's a very potent frequency, bro.
Yeah, that's some real shit right there.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of things I was telling, I tell my girl this all the time. Everything he's telling his life is on the other side of fear. and the fear is acclimated to the trauma that we went through as children. So a lot of times that throat chakra don't get activated because your mama, she'd be like, "Hey, shut your ass up! I don't want to hear you talking." That put an encryption. That put an encryption on the tongue. That put an encryption on the throat chakra. So now,
why you think I got back on her? Why you think I got back on her? Right? Because I got back on her for 2 reasons. Because it's gonna echo back again. If I didn't face the reality of whatever was on the end of this, it was gonna echo back in my life again. So no matter how much I wanted to get away from it, I had to complete it because he ain't do nothing to me. He paid me for a complete service, right? I gotta complete that service if I'm willing and able and allowed to do it, right? So regardless of uncomfortable or not, this gonna be good because out of uncomfortable comes the blessing. Think about when you put like the seed in the ground. It's uncomfortable, it's in darkness, but then it come out it bright. So the uncomfortable of this made me want to reject it, but I know I gotta walk in my light, so I came back. So that's why I came back, so we can do whatever it is we supposed to do, because it gotta be a reason, because it burnt my soul so hard. Right? Yeah. So we gotta be here for it. Let's do this shit then.
Hey, let's get through the storm, man. Hey, let's get through the storm.
I did a video talking about how to level up, and I said that, you know, uncomfortability is the precursor to evolution. You got to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You got to get uncomfortable. Like if you're afraid to talk, you got to start speaking. That's when you tap into your authenticity. It's going to lead to your purpose. Because then when you tap into your purpose, that's when you're connected to source, your oversoul, your higher self. So because like you said, fear is the demiurge. That's the emotion. Yeah. It locks down the body. So when you unravel that process, that's when you start to awaken.
Hey, check this out. There was a saying that the throat chakra is the most blocked chakra in the spiritual community. And I heard a spiritual therapist said that. And it's true. Even a lot of people I know, even me, when we was children, our parents didn't really let us say what we wanted to say. So we couldn't talk back. We was always like, you talking back. So it's like, you know, even me as a child, I was told I always talk back. So it's like I had to my throat chakra was blocked. You know what I'm saying? My whole childhood, it was like blocked to a degree, not all the time, but to a degree. So growing up, you know, and it's like we get to like 18, 19, we got to learn to like speak more, speak in the mirror, say affirmations. We got to heal that throat chakra, learn how to, you know what I'm saying, speak our mind, you know, in a way where people understand, and journal more, you know what I'm saying? Right. And really like start to love our voice, you know, confidence.
You know, another thing to activate that throat chakra, eat some blueberries.
Right. And another thing, just for y'all alone, just talk about like everything, just so I can be authentic with y'all. I'm not accepted by the spiritual community, right? And it's like that. So when he was on her, it kind of like, that's why I got back. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay. Like I come with knowledge. If I come with a different vibration, our soul's the same, my spirit is different. My spirit is rough, wild, you know what I'm saying? But I come with the same love, I come with the same message, and they reject me, right? And so that fear again was with you. I walked through that fear because I walked through fear. I believe if you fear it, walk towards it. If you know you can beat it, walk away from it. If I was comfortable, I would walk away. But I feared it, so I walked towards it. So I feared this situation here because we fear when what we believe is being tested now. So now it's good when I believe it by myself, but now when I gotta defend it, then it's a problem. Right. So even that, the ego kick back in. Even me, I gotta kill that ego. Right. So that's that ego. That demiurge, I told you I was God and the devil when we started, right? So, but the thing, I'm aware when it's happened to me. I'm aware. It happened. It just happened. But I'm aware when it happened. Fact. Right? But we good now because my awareness has kicked in. But of course, when the way the mind works, when it's challenged, it's gonna automatically. I was trained to do that, right? But sometimes that's why I'm telling you when you're dealing with fire. All right, this is what this ain't something that I was this ain't nothing I wanted to do. I want to do something totally different, but then it just kept on coming. I kept getting downloads and kept saying this shit, and then brothers like you would say, "That's true." I'd be like, "How? How?" Because I didn't read it nowhere. That's just the truth, like no bullshit, right? But that's why I'd be like, "Damn, am I gonna say something?" I still got that fear because I don't read it nowhere. Right. So if I say something that's wrong and you say I'm wrong, then what?
That's part of the illusion, dualism. Ain't no right or wrong.
That's what I'm saying. But I'll be coming with good information. So I thank you for this, and we gotta do this more.
You know, because I'm gonna tell you one thing. Like the reason why I venerate intelligence so much, and I, you know what I'm saying, I'm a Libra too, so we're wordologists. We love using words. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of our personality. The reason that is, bro, is because we've been dumbed down for so long, bro. It's time to be like, we used to be the smartest people on the planet, and now the whole demographic, we the dumbest.
That's
So
true. We was scientists. We was everything. They stole everything from us. But that's why we all coded with different frequencies to help people in different levels. For me, Jesus walked. Jesus came for the murders, the thieves, the crooks, the criminals, right? So that's what I came for. But then people got to go above this level. And then that's who you came for. I know it because the way you came for me, right? Because where I need to go to get to. I need to go give it to the other people that's down here so they can really understand to come up. But it's levels. That's why I say I'm in the middle. I'm neither smart or dumb. I know how to pull and give, right, to where I need to give it to. And that's what I'm saying. And I know how to take real from the fake, right? And that's it. That's all, right? I don't know how you was later in your life, in the past. But in my last moment, I've been everything. But it led me back to the same gangster I was, but with more sense. So I'm saying that everybody just need to be who they are.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you brought that up. I think the real problem with a lot of street dudes nowadays is that they don't have no type of spiritual connection. Because, if you have some type of spirituality, it's going to save your ass. It's going to add years to your life because that's where the discernment kicks in. That's where the intuition kicks in. So if you just out here being a demon with no type of spiritual practice, your ass going to get pulled out eventually or you're going to get thrown in jail.
That's my purpose. Now you see, I'm just like them. So I wanted to gang. 2 years I meditated and I wanted to be just like you, like in my mind, I gotta be like that to reach them. But I would never change. But the stuff that I know, I understand. I can help people. My life changed. My temperament changed. I can get back on here with you and get through it, right? Before I couldn't even do that small task, right? This a big task just for me, and it's a big task for the streets because I represent them. When they see me do it, they say, "Okay, cool." He don't know what some brothers I know that's very intelligent, and he able to get through that conversation.
Hey, and that's one of the reasons why I worked with you 607 in the first video, because some people felt away, but at the end of the day, you do represent the streets. People like Rashad Jamal also represent the streets, but people who represent the streets are rare and also spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's rare. You represent the streets and also you tap into your feminine energy, because a lot of men, they got their egos. It's the ego. So it's like, it's very hard for a man to wake up. Women wake up like this, but a man, it's hard for him to wake up. He has to observe his ego like all day.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying?
I'm
not accepted. That's why I'm not accepted by the spiritual, because I'm street. They ain't never seen one. They think I'm faking. Every time, it's all he faking. He faking for views. He faking for the money. I can't help that I'm street as hell, and I got a message to give. I just look like this. Right. And I ain't gonna change the way I look. Right.
And you know what's crazy though? Tookie Williams, he was in the streets and he had the Moorish knowledge. He used to wear the fez out on the block. Because a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? Even when you look at the history of the Nation of Islam, a lot of them, they were street niggas. They had the esoteric knowledge and they had supreme mathematics. You couldn't even get through the pink houses and the projects if you didn't know today's mathematics. They gonna beat you up.
Right.
So you had to been forced into the knowledge, especially back during the time of the 90s. And then when you look at Clans 13X, he used to drink and smoke, shoot dice with all the street dudes just to pull them out of their situation. Right. Not because he was submerged into it. He was using the matrix in order to get people out. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't use the aesthetics of spirituality. I look how I look, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to resonate with other demographics of people. Yeah, I got the higher knowledge, but I'm able to look like the next person down the street. I don't have to guard myself up with head wraps and stuff.
And crystals and all that, yeah.
Relatable. When it comes to Black people, we're very visual. So in order to be relatable, you have to look like them. Just like when a woman, she's seeing you trying to holler at her, the first thing she's going to look at is your shoes. People don't want to hear what you're talking about if you're not looking the part. You feel what I'm saying? This is why when people, when guys, speakers and go to the motherfucking schools and stuff, the children is not able to resonate with, the speaker. He got on a business suit. You got to look like them in order to connect with them.
Right. Right, so then you understand me then, right? So
Yeah.
the essence of what I bring,
Yeah.
listen, I believe we all share the same soul but different spirits, right? My spirit is a little different, right? I came with a like I said, different vibration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just to elaborate on the universe, like I said, it's echoes. Again, Earth hollow, a lot of echoes. Your last move keep echoing. I just want to help people stop the reincarnation process, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you gonna just keep coming back, and
Yeah.
like
In a
that in
circle.
itself
Yeah.
is hell,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So for that reason, everything that brother's just saying right there, you know he right,
Fact.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I just come teach to the streets. There's we got the streets got all the attachments. We attach to everything because we ain't never had shit. So we attaching to everything we come across.
Shit, if you read the Bible, Jesus is out with the hoes. He was with the players, the pimps.
Stay with
Those
the
are the
whole,
ones
stay
he
with the
was trying to
players.
resurrect. So, like I said, you got to resurrect the people, but they got to understand what emotion is.
Yeah.
It's the food, it's the sex, it's the money. It's all about external stimulation that takes you away from your light. Everything sucks up your energy here. That's what the black.
And that's why I try to teach them how to reverse the cycle, how to use their emotions in a positive way. Like I know this right here, right? You tell a young nigga this. So say for something happen, you're gonna have a feeling. So something happen, have a feeling. If you attach that feeling with what just happened, you know that every time something like that happens, it's gonna be that feeling. You can use your emotions to help you, right? For like signals to warn you. But a lot of people want to use their emotions and feel and move on. I think life is made for you to do more observing about being aware than kind of like being evolved. I believe that like when you manifest something and once it comes into the physical form, it's too late to change it. You got to manifest something else if you want it to be different, right? I just really believe in that. So I understand. I think that God got one fear too, like the real God that you can't even call God, and his fear, the lack of never exists. So he mirror himself through everything too. Everything is a mirror. Listen, to try to get to the true God, we got to mirror through the Anunnakis. Everybody he said, like the people that created us, that put us in simulation. Everything has been mirrored. We got to go too far. That's why you got to go within.
Mm-hmm.
You try to go without, you going too far.
That's a
Look
fact.
at the long line. So that's what I was saying to you. It wasn't no problem. I'm like, damn, this nigga going far. Look, just send him within. But when they go within, they'll come back out with what he got. That's the crazy part.
It's like on the outside, people try to get readings and learn multiple teachers, but they never get it within themselves. Meditate, close their eyes, and just, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, going within, that's a faith. And
the main reason why is because they don't know how to be alone. Because being alone is the birthplace of a genius. That's when you're going to be able to tap into yourself. But this is why motherfuckers don't get downloads, because they got too many people around them blocking your energy. So when you by yourself and you a loner, that's when you tap into the energy of your genius, your magic, magnetism.
Right, they blocking a signal. Just like me, I'm an old man. So I eat 1 meal a day. I don't want to block my signal because I know my signal come with everything I need. Because I know that, listen, I don't do all that like in a read and shit. Because like again, information is like tarnished. So what I do is I download and then I check. I download and I check. That's what I downloaded, and that's when the reading come in. That right? Because I'm making sure what I got and where I got it from. Right. So, what y'all say is true. I'm just really trying to stop people that from reincarnating and show people that look like me, that's like stupid like me. I tell y'all I'm stupid all the time. Like I ain't smart like him. That they can be just as wise.
I see.
Being wise is different. It's a different thing.
But you saying you saying you like to be the student at all times.
Yeah, I'm a student at all times. I'm always learning.
I tell people that too. Just I stay the student, to stay learning.
I got to. Listen, I learned from this. Listen, I can't say Yajabar. I can't say Yajabar. I can't say these words. Right? But I know who these people are. But this brother right here, he can say all that shit. If I start saying that shit, they'll say this nigga lying. I cannot. Listen, I'm telling you, I know this shit, but I can't say it. Like Nananthal, like I know these words. I know what these. Yeah, I know what they are.
There's nothing wrong with that because with you understanding without understanding the word and know how to say it, it's gonna activate your telepathic abilities.
But that's how I know. That's how I know that we don't have the word's not real because I completely know but I just can't say it. But I can explain it different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's how I know that we are not coming across real words, that the words are fake. Because how can I just say it a whole different fucking way then?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. But you know what I'm saying? There's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go from neophyte, adept to master.
Yeah, but listen, I'm master, but I still got my listen, I'm telling you, I'm master, I understand it. I can like everybody else. But the way I'm programmed, I still look and perceive like I'm low vibrational. Like if you see me in public, if you talk to me, you're gonna perceive all as low vibrational creature. Until you uncover that was who I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I was no bullshit. Bro, low vibration all over me. Like, because I'm walking around low vibrational people, so he clothed me in that.
Right.
Right? To truly understand me, you got to go under this shit. Because this right here is for me to survive where I'm at, nigga.
Facts. That's a
but
fact.
I'm you. You, me, we the same.
Yeah.
But I'm you differently. I got to survive where I'm at. I got to take it to the roughest places where niggas don't listen, where they kill me for trying to sound too smart. Nigga, they will kill you in the trenches for trying to sound like you smarter than the next person. That's what
motherfuckers you got to get away from them.
Nigga, you see how mad I got at you? Said I kill you. I come from that. Over just you being, over you just saying some words that's perceived to be smarter than me. The ego kick in. All the ego in the trenches, and I got back on her to show him that I'm killing the ego.
The reason I do that is because I'm trying to awaken certain parts of
you awaken a demon in me, nigga. I was the GDBD Vice Lord, nigga.
Yeah. Hey, isn't that called cognitive?
Those are trying to play.
Hey, Bito, isn't that called cognitive dissonance?
What?
Where they hear something about their beliefs and then they get cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, that's cognitive dissonance.
No, it wasn't my belief. It was the fact that I knew when he was telling the truth, and I figured people won't understand it.
Oh, okay,
listen, everything he said was the same thing I said. But listen, you think when I first time I saw Braxis, I wasn't talking about the chicken head, and I wasn't talking about the snake legs, and I wasn't breaking it down the way he broke it down. Yeah. So, but I told you everything is within. So when it come back to me, I'm like, cuz, why you gotta go through all of that? I'm past that now. That was for me. You don't understand. I only talk to me. Everything comes within. Everything is me. So when he brought me back to where I've been, I'm like, cuz, no, I'm past that. Right? The man speak truth. What don't you get? I can't say he lied.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he speak truth. If I said it in the beginning, then I lied. And I work on that.
So you got another question, Astro?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's see. So what do y'all feel about the Messiah? You know, a lot of people talk about that in the spiritual community. Oh, there's a Messiah, there's this Messiah, he's Messiah.
Jesus.
Jesus. Okay. Jesus. You feel like there's a modern Messiah right now?
Talking about Jesus, right?
No, I'm talking about the Messiah now, a modern Messiah.
They say, well, if you go on you look at the old FBI director, he put out a publication talking about the rise of a black Messiah.
Oh, in Africa?
No, just saying in general, the rise of a black Messiah is actually supposed to be a prophecy that's connected to the West. So it's going to come from over here. But from my perspective, I think
what Messiah mean? What that mean?
It means go ahead. Yeah, you got better.
Messiah means messy, and messy comes from the Kemetic word anointed. Because
and he gonna rise from over here.
Supposedly, because this is
y'all talk about me then.
This is really ancient Egypt.
Yeah, y'all talking about me then. That's who I am. That a lot of people don't know. I'm a ascended master. I keep telling y'all this. I guess I'm that. But I'm a ascended master, gang. I come here for a purpose and for a reason, right? And I know my purpose and my reason. And I was conflicted about that a lot. But I think it's one consciousness though, bro. I think you connect to that consciousness too.
Well, the thing is that I don't think I'm a Messiah. I have a different perspective. I think the galvanization of the 144,000 is the Messiah.
Yeah, I'm one of 144,000 for a fact.
Yeah, and because everybody is on it's a mental frequency. It's a mental frequency, and there's a multitude of ways to look at it. You could say it's the 144,000 crystals in the brain. That's the crucifix around Christ's head.
You know what I think? I think this, right? And a lot of people, I think we all share the same soul with different spirits. And I think that it's like, again, it's just like different expressions of the same thing, right? I think we all different expressions of the same thing. We different expressions. Everything is different expressions of the same thing, of consciousness, of frequencies, of vibrations, everything. And that's what I'm saying. There's no right or wrong. That's what I think. I could be crazy, I could be dumb, but that's what I came up with. And I know for a fact that I understand stuff. And I know for a fact that I came to wake people up. And I know for a fact that that's what I'm gonna do.
And we in that time period, bro.
Yeah, everybody wakes people up in a different way, and that's what I respect about each teacher. You know what I'm saying? Some people got to do it from the street. Some people got to do it from the conservative, the political side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to do it from all. I'm going political right now. I'm starting in the streets. I'm going political. I'm going all the way up the ladder. Right? So you just see me right here, right? So I'm doing podcasts now. I won't be doing podcasts for the next year. I'm going straight speaker. And then, of course, I'm going every level, right? So everybody understand you finna see a lot of me. Right, and the thing is, I hope people understand it's gonna still look the same, like the same person, because I ain't gonna change. I try to talk smart, it ain't gonna come out right.
See, but the only thing is, bro, like, you know, once you hit a certain pinnacle with the information, you know, I'm supposed to be doing. You know who Yaki is? Y'all from the same city, right?
Yaki Awaken. Let me see.
Okay, I don't know.
That you got dollar.
In God we trust.
No,
yeah.
What you talk about the emotion? What a curse is that on her? Tell them what a curse is that, smart man.
There's an owl at the top.
Oh, I'm gone. See, smart. I'm gone. Something else. Yeah, I told you he know.
Yeah.
Listen. I told you he know.
Yeah, and then
I don't like talking to people like that.
And then you gotta look. The capstone. The capstone is missing.
We get it. That's smart. We get it.
No. Yeah. I mean, we know that. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? There's a deeper meaning to that too. Because when the capstone was closed, that's when it was a matriarch. The disconnection of the capstone represents patriarchy, which represents division.
Right. So the motion tied to this piece of paper is emotion attachment. The motion attachments is what people worship, right? Because the way it make you feel. You get money, right. You feel good, right? So they take that emotional attachment is not actually the paper, but what people don't know is the reason why I turn and I rip it so it won't have power over me, and I put it in some water and stuff like that, though, right? So I try to make sure that it don't have power over me, right? But I need it. I use it, but I use it. It don't use me,
right?
So that's why a lot of times a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not accepted by neither community. Like I'm famous and shit, but then I'm speaking the wrong shit, so they not fucking with me. And then I'm speaking so much shit, the motherfucker like, how the fuck did he get famous speaking like that? He's speaking the devil. So then I'm not accepted by neither. I'll stand alone. That's why I say I gotta be the Messiah. I stand alone, just like Jesus.
Hey, so what message you got for the streets? Any people, any man watching who's in the streets and you know he's lost in the streets, you know what I'm saying? He gang banging, he's trying to wake up, but what's message would you give him right now?
Listen, I got the same message that for a person that not sleep. Hold up, let me get this phone. Please don't go dead. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah, you gonna come back in.
Hold up, I'm coming.
You better come back on. Okay.
I'm getting back on. You hear me? You can still hear me?
Yeah, we still hear you.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
His phone's probably dying right now. Okay. You go. Okay.
Look, my apologize. Listen, the only thing that I can say is look within. I think a lot of people spend so much time looking without. I asked why in. I say ask him who he was today. He couldn't answer the question. So what I'm saying is a lot of people spending time trying to figure out what everything else is. Just look within and find out who you is. And when you find out who you is, everything that you want be handed to you.
Fact.
Okay, I like that. There's another question I had too. I'll let it come back.
You want me to hit that up too about the street dudes?
Yeah. What message would you have for the streets?
My message to the street dudes is to have some type of discernment. like I said, a lot. If you pay attention, you look at all the old '80s movies, and you pay attention to way back in the day. A lot of the street dudes, they used to be in the gym. They had muscles. They was, you know what I'm saying, they knew how to fight. Now you fast forward now, the street niggas is out of balance. You know what I'm saying? That all they know is shooting, all they know is killing, all they know about is, you know what I'm saying, sipping the lean. They don't have no type of discipline. So they gotta, you know, pretty much cultivate the discipline as far as like their emotions. Because the great majority of street dudes, they're very impulsive. So
impulsive, yeah.
So in order to master themselves, you know, they got to look themselves in the eye when it comes to that.
So would you say impulsive is an emotion, or would you say that's an instinct?
It depends. It depends on the situation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You get some dudes, you know, they in a relationship and she break up with him and he get the stalking her. He's slashing her tires, you know, busting her windows out. That's that female energy on him because he's energetically out of balance. Right? So now, as far as on the energetic level, he's trying to compensate for the lack thereof by trying to pull on her energy in order to alchemize the situation. It's kind of like the same. It's a manipulation process. It's dark psychology. That's all it is. So that's why I said you have to, you know, be very disciplined in your thoughts to the point where you're able to control them. And when you're able to control your thoughts, you're able to control your emotion. And then when you're able to control your emotion, that's when you activate the mental constructs of your brain to where you're able to magnetize and alchemize every situation in your life. That's why I said people who's operate from a place of trauma, it's hard for them to manifest. Trauma and fear and emotions is a manifestation blocker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's done yet, but shit, we already at the hour and a half mark.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he. I wanted him to come back on for one more, but if he doesn't, then it's wraps game.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely. I'm glad we was able to. You know, it was a storm, but we was able to calm the storm and quiet the storm, and you know what I'm saying. That shows that, you know, black love. You know, we have relationships, and sometimes we argue with our girl and we figure things out. We just have to figure things out. We all family at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So.
This another thing though, because you know, because I've heard people all the time tell me like I need to dumb down my information or whatever, bro. Like I'm an old soul, and I was raised differently. I was raised by a masculine man. I was raised by an intelligent mother. So this is the product of what you get. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. That's where I come from. Everybody who knows me outside of, you know, YouTube in my city, bro, like everybody knows that I've always been a highly intelligent individual. I always talk like this. So it's one of those things where, you know, we just have to use, you know, the mechanics, you know, of the information in order to raise the vibration of our people. I'm not just using it to, you know, to go over people's heads or whatever, because I want everybody to understand the information. But you can't just be subjected to the low vibrational information and you think it's gonna, you know, create some type of metamorphosis on the planet. It's not gonna work like that. You gotta break the mental spell first. You gotta break the mental spell, and it's cultivated by the emotions.
Yep.
Yeah. We can go ahead and wrap this up. You guys.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. No, we all good, man. This is. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and it shows us that like everybody tries to be perfect, but you know sometimes. Family, even the guys back then, they used to argue. That the kings, the black, all of us used to argue back then. We still figured it out. So it's like we're gonna have disagreements with our family and our brothers and stuff like that. And it's like it don't mean you gotta hurt them. We still love each other at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So keeping the heart chakra open. You know, anybody watching, you ever argue with anybody, y'all can get over it. Y'all can solve it. You know, depending on their level of observation of their ego. You know what I'm saying? But this is just the reality. 607 Unc. I've never. That was like a transformation. That was like a whole little like a movie. You know what I'm saying? It started off intense, and then he actually like, so it was like a whole lesson. This is going to be a very good video for a very long time. You know, a very transformative video. It shows that how quick someone could change.
It just shows you how it really shows you the capabilities on how people who just have the surface level, the basic information, merging in with, you know, people who have higher information. You got to find that medium. And my medium in itself is the perception of it. I have to look the part in order to reach the people. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I'm just trying to, hit every pillar of knowledge to, get our people to understand everything. And I learned that from Baba. That's the science of circumology. You got to understand all perspectives to get one truth. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching. We're gonna try to get a few more, more out. This was definitely a rare collab, rare collaboration. It was us. It was unexpected, unpredictable, but it shows you sometimes the universe has bigger things in plan, and you can't always have change through light all the time. You got to have some darkness. You know what I'm saying? Darkness is powerful. So having those moments where it's a disagreement, you know what I'm saying? And anger does come from not feeling understood. So I understood where he come from, but I'm glad that we cool. Glad we all good though. I appreciate it.
We gotta do stuff like that. We gotta shake things up, bro, because like I said, man, it's one of those things where, like I said, we need higher information. So sometimes you gotta collab with other individuals in order to get the information out in the algorithm. So that's what it's all about.
Yes.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, end of transmission.